What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. So it looked like Caitlin Clark fan base has definitely forced the USA Team Committee to respond to all the backlash they have been receiving online. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. In today's video, I want to pay my respects to none other than basketball legend Jerry West. Unfortunately, he has passed away earlier this morning. He's a 14-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA. He was the 1969 Finals MVP, 1972 NBA champion, one-time NBA scoring champion, 5-time All-Defensive Team, 1972 All-Star Game MVP, Basketball Hall of Famer, and he is the NBA logo. Now, Jerry West is famous for trading for Shaq and also drafting the great Kobe Bryant. Jerry West will be truly missed. Let's have a moment of silence for basketball royalty. Let's jump right into today's content. So it looked like the WNBA is trying to quick, fast, and in a hurry get a media rights deal done. Ever since Caitlin Clark popped up on the scene, their ratings has been through the roof. And WNBA commissioner is not playing no games with trying to get the bag. It's being reported that the league is set to receive a windfall for its broadcast rights, which expire next season and are valued at around $60 million per year. According to sources, the NBA owns around 60% of the women's league and is in the process of negotiating that deal right now, which Bloomberg and the Wall Street Journal reported will be worth more than $7 billion per year for both leagues, and up from the $2.7 billion that the NBA gets per year in its current deal. So it looked like all the women complaining and fussing about Caitlin Clark coming into the WNBA. Now, for those of you guys who might not know this is why the NBA gets such large contracts. It's simply because of their media rights deal plays a part in that as well, along with, ticket sales, merch sales, and stuff like that. But the media rights deal definitely plays a big part in those large contracts. So with the WNBA potentially about to get this large media right deal, that means that the contracts for the women league could potentially go up. They owe it all to Caitlin Clark, bro. None of this will be happening. I'm telling you this for a fact without Caitlin Clark. Moving on to another story. So it looked like USA Committee Jennifer Rizzotti has made a video breaking her silence about this whole situation. Let's roll the footage.
A little bittersweet sometimes when you're naming a team, because you understand that there's a lot of deserving players that got left off. But at the end of the day, the 12 that we selected, we feel like will best represent us, and we're excited to have a chance to finally get to celebrate them. Obviously, I want today to mostly be the players that made the team, but there's no avoiding the conversation around who didn't. So I'm happy to address it. I think. Obviously, we know the success that Caitlin had in college, and she's had a tremendous start to the WNBA, season so far. We feel like she's been a part of the USA basketball family, and we certainly hope that she will continue to be a part of that in the future. But, essentially, it was the committee's job to pick the 12 that, based on our selection criteria, and, they're as much as you want to maybe make conversation around how we should have considered TV viewership or jersey sales or popularity, that wasn't the purview of the committee to have those discussions. The selection criteria were very clear, was made very clear to us. And so eventually, we had to block out some of that outside noise. And it was a hard decision for a lot of players that didn't make the team. And so I feel like, out of respect for the entire pool, I want to make note of the fact that there was a lot of women that committed their time in past Olympics and past World Cups, and enormous amount of camps where they made sacrifices to be there that didn't make this team. And so there was a lot of players that were tough to leave off the team. And I think that's why it was important for our committee to hone in on the criteria that we were given and make this about basketball. And I know a lot of men that pay attention to women's basketball, and I would hope that The journey that this team is about to take and the unprecedented amount of success that they've had is story enough for people to want to follow it and to market it and to pay attention to these extraordinary 12 women that are going to be representing us this summer in Paris.
And USA Committee Chair Jennifer Rizzotti breaking her silence about Caitlin Clark, man. She almost looked a little frustrated about talking about Caitlin Clark. Like, oh my God, I'm sick of talking about this. This is not a big deal. But when you leave somebody like Caitlin Clark out, you're going to be talking about this for a while. Moving on to another story. So it looked like Austin Rivers take to Twitter again to break his silence about this Caitlin Clark situation and how badly the WNBA dropped the ball. Let's roll the footage.
When it comes to Caitlin Clark, should she be on the USA team or not? Do I think it's a big deal that she's not on the team? I'll answer that. No, I don't think it's the end of the world that Caitlin Clark's not on the USA team. She's very young. She'll be on the team next go around, I'm sure. And it's been a crazy whirlwind for her, I'm sure, over the past several months, going from straight to college, the draft, to playing. She probably needs a break mentally and physically this summer anyway. And if we're going off who is the most deserving right now, there are a list of girls who have been performing at a high level who will go over there and represent our country in a great, amazing way. I mean, let's look at the history of USA basketball with women's side. They've dominated. It's not going to be any different this summer. So with that being said, no, I don't think it's the biggest mistake ever made. I don't. But it is a mistake. And I'm going to tell you why. Business-wise, we know why it's a mistake. Caitlin Clark brings attention, views, money, and everything and awareness to the game of women's basketball, right? We've already seen that. That's proven. So historically, when we look at views at USA women's basketball, it hasn't been that high. And again, that number should go up this summer just with all the attention that's been brought to the game. But then when you think about why that is, the main character in that is Caitlin Clark. So having her on the team would just be beneficial, not only to USA women's team who's getting all this attention, but just to the overall game of women's basketball. It'd be something more talked about when there's going to be a lot of sports being played at the time. It could lose traction. We've seen right now women's basketball is on this just adrenaline climb of just upwards and attention. Everyone's tuning in. It's very important for them, I think, to capitalize on that. And I think having a Caitlin Clark on that team would bring so much attention and awareness to the game of women's basketball, where people who are even tuning in just for Caitlin are now forced to watch an A.J. Wilson or Breanna Stewart and see, oh, wow, so that's what really great looks like. It would only just help bring attention and awareness to the other players who are already been deserving of it. And I think it'd be very important to have Caitlin on that team just from a business standpoint, right? Now we talk about basketball. She's number one pick in the draft. Invest in your future. The men do it all the time. When I got drafted, they had Anthony Davis on the Olympic team. Was he one of the 12 best players in the world at that time? No, but they knew he was going to be. So they invested in it, just like the Dream Team had Leitner on it. Clark would be the 12th player on that team. She ain't going to play anyway. But it would be huge for her and her growth being around, like I said, the AJs, the Briannas, the Grinders, all these girls who have been through so much experience. I think it'd be vital for them to be around a girl like them. Also, just for them to embrace Caitlin. We need that, right? We see all this other stuff about her. We need to see the videos of her lugging around the luggage, being a rookie, like having these moments and experiences that could really help Caitlin and also just help her grow as a player. So I think from both sides, business and basketball, do I think it's the end of the world? She's not on the team? No, but I do think the USA team missed with this, and I think Caitlin could have been on the team and been a valuable asset on both sides. She wouldn't have played a lot, but it would have been huge for her, and she is WNBA's newest, biggest star. And I think it would have been cool for them to invest and embrace Caitlin Clark on that matter, and as well as reap the benefits from the business side.
That was Austin Rivers telling like it is in regards to Caitlin Clark and his Team USA situation. Now, Caitlin Clark has been going viral all week long. She is set to be back in action this Thursday. But, guys, get down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about this. Keep them bills on because you know what? I'm going to bring you the news. And until next time, man, shake the haters off. I'm out of here. Peace out.